Sudden baby. Wow. It's pretty empty today. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of BION Sounds. I'm your host, Pillow, and you guys kind of knew that I had to go back to the Sarasota guitar show on the second day. But there's a reason why I did it. And I am here to discuss a little bit about that reason. On the first day, I was with Robert, and we were very pleased and happy to be there. It was my first ever guitar show, and I was kind of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was super happy. And I didn't have time to talk too much to people and, get a little bit more of information on how these people run their businesses and stuff like that. What I'm noticing is that doing the channel the way that I'm doing, it's gonna take so long for me to buy a guitar and use that to make a song and be able to post that for sale and sell that and make the profit and go for the next guitar and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna change a few things and I'm gonna talk to you guys about it today. But I went back there to talk to as many people as I could to understand a few things about the market and how people are surviving doing that. Not that I need to do that to survive, but I like to do so, and I like to I have fun buying and selling instruments and setting them up and cleaning them up and reposting them and taking nicer pictures, which is usually one of the issues that people have when they try to sell something. And I am usually pretty lucky with the amount that I get to buy an instrument and sometimes the amount that I get to sell an instrument. For instance, this Jackson here that I picked up at Guitar Center for about 149 bucks, I believe it was 149 or 169, something like that. But this is like a easy, if I want to sell super fast, this is like a $300 to $400 guitar. So I decided that I'm gonna get back on buying and selling instruments for the fun of doing so. I will try to find a way to post those guitars, maybe do something a little bit fast while I'm trying to set them up and clean them up and stuff like that, so we can review the guitar really quick and pass it on. And maybe the songs that I'm recording and that I'm using, whenever I have a guitar here that fits the song or something like that, then I'll throw that guitar into the song just, to take advantage of it. So when I went back on the second day, I brought two guitars with me. So I brought the Trini Lopez 1966 and I brought the Gibson B25. Both guitars I bought with a decent discount because I knew that they had issues from the get-go. The Trini had a bunch of missing parts, mainly like plastics and stuff like that. I knew that somebody put a Bixby at one point, maybe around the 80s or something like that. They removed the original bridge. So I knew that there were some issues with that. There is a little repair on the headstock as well on that guitar. And the B25 has a crack right in the center of, right behind the bridge. And why did I bring those two guitars? The idea was never to sell the guitars, but to see how people first react to them and how people would price them out and what would they look for in the guitars. So a few ideas that I had in order to go back there and talk to these awesome people that gave me a bunch of ideas and, directions. So first of all, that I wanted to understand was, how's the market? I work with stones, so I have no clue of how the guitar market is at the moment. I know that after 2020, all the prices went up, and since then I haven't bought or sold anything. So I needed to understand a little bit more about the market. Is it a good market to start doing this right now? Am I gonna lose money? Am I gonna make money? It's always very complicated to actually know. So that's one of the things that I needed to hear from people. And they all said basically the same thing. There's always time when that happens, and there's basically no way to actually know when that's gonna hit. We're about to head into Third World War, and so it is a scary time right now, which for a lot of people it's time to sell, and for a lot of people it's time to buy. So I think that if I buy right now, when things pick up again, I might have, a very good way out. So that's one thing that I wanted to understand. The second thing is that, what were they looking? I brought those two guitars with little issues and stuff like that because I knew that they had issues, and I wanted to see how they would react to them, how would they price them exactly because of those little tiny issues. Fourth, how do they run the business? So one of the guys was super cool and told me a little bit more in depth about how he trades sometimes, especially for guitars like this that have little issues, because he already traded so often, one guitar to another and made a little profit, and another and another and another and another, that some of the guitars there he basically got it for free, or close to basically nothing. Or if he can trade that to my guitar, he can just sell my guitar and make a profit out of it. So that's a very nice thing to understand and learn, although I already knew a little bit about how to do that. The most important thing was, what was the potential that they saw on those two guitars in order to pick them up and buy them from me. So for the B25, they just wanted to make some fast cash. They knew that crack under the bridge there, it's not a bad crack or anything like that. It's actually, it has been redone, so it's not vibrating, it's not an issue. It's statically not the best, but they could easily make $200 on top of that guitar and call it a day. Of course, I can make those $200 as well, so I just rather do it myself. And on the Gibson, it was a little bit of a different idea, because it was more towards like, can I bring this back to its originality, because then you can profit even more. But first of all, I'm not doing anything with that Trini. That Trini is gonna stay with me as long as I can have it. That's my favorite guitar, and that's my dream guitar. And unless I find something else that I want to trade that for, that guitar is not going anywhere. So what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna open my company, and I'm gonna start buying and selling guitars as much as I can in order to do, even if it's like small profits. I'm not looking for the money here in a way. I'm more looking forward to leave that money in the company and be able to buy more and more with that same money. So like making the amount always bigger, so I can buy more or buy better or buy nicer instruments in order to resell them. I want to create a nice brand and a nice business. You guys are going to be able to see all those guitars when they arrive. You're going to be able to see the guitars while they're being set up. We're going to play with them a little bit and just have a really good time with every single instrument that will pass through the studio. As you guys can see, everything here is a little bit different, and just stick around for the next episode because you're gonna understand a little bit better of what's going on here. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is gonna be probably the first guitar that we're gonna sell. I just swapped the strings, I just cleaned the fretboard, so I'm not gonna film that part, but we're gonna have some fun with it. I'm gonna take some nice pictures and list it for sale. And this is gonna turn into another guitar, that is gonna turn into another guitar, that is gonna turn into another guitar, so on and so forth. Yeah, and I'm super, super excited to do so. Thank you guys for coming. This was a short one, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, so funny thing, I'm wearing a Fleetwood Mac shirt, and somebody just put this on top of my guitar case. So, you know, I got a cassette tape. Why not? I'll take it.